Hey, hey,
Okay.
hey, it's your girl, Summer Dia Selva, your Get Shit Done coach, your digital marketer. Welcome back to my channel where we talk real world solutions for smart living and also for smart business. So let me ask you something. Today we're talking something a little unusual for my channel, but I couldn't miss having this particular guest on my show. It's a fabulous person. I'm going to shortly introduce you to him. Does your current water or your water system give you clean, purified water if the power goes out or if you're out living in a trailer? Are you still buying bottled water every week? Are you tired of spending lots and lots of money on plastic that is probably going in the dumps or worse, in the ocean? And what happens if there's an emergency and you can't get access to safe drinking water? If any of this made you feel like, today's guest is going to open our eyes. I'm sitting down today with a special guest who's on a mission to get us all thinking differently about water. So, welcome, Mark Miller.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I am
Good
so
to be
glad we
here
are
today.
here. I'm so
Thank you.
glad we are here. And before we go into the good stuff that you talk about, can you tell us a little more about your background? What led you into this clear water space?
Yes, and the going back way back, I was raised in the parsonage. My dad was a minister. 10 children, 11 children. I was the middle child, so we had some challenges in different ways, food
Mhm.
wise and otherwise. A very small town, and the water and the well and whatever. But then, whenever I was 16 years of age, I had a very strong impression that I would have something that I would be fulfilling in my life that would help a lot of people. I didn't know what that meant. I had a lot of different things I did over the years, have a very interesting background and a very um, variety of things.
Mhm.
But as I would take the next step and say, I need to do this because I'm preparing for what will become at a future time. And as we did that, uh, all the things that I did over those periods of time are all used to our advantage now to be able to share what we have.
Mm.
And what we did then also, what brought it to the point of being centrally looking at how to help people with pure water was about 2 years ago. I was in a meeting where a missionary from Central America was speaking about how one of the number one reasons why children die in those countries like that, like Central
Mhm.
America, is they don't have pure water. And when they have pure water, that takes away all of that. And for them and the children and the adults, the diarrhea and all the things that happen because of the impure water. So what this missionary was doing is they had a water filtration system that they were taking to those areas and showing them how to give pure water to the children and
Mm.
to them, where they would now have life. And when they would come back the next year to see how things were going, well, none of the children died this year. That's because they have pure water. And I was sitting there listening, but I also said, we're living in a nation of 330 million people in the United States. And if the electric went out tomorrow and was out for a few days, where would we get our water? Most people don't have a clue or don't have anything to be prepared for that. So that was the beginning of the journey. And over the 2 year period, and actually the 1 year, because we've been doing this for almost a year now, just some with the beta test and now with the full grown growth of our company and ready to grow. But I came to the place to where we said, okay, there's two things that are necessary to make this happen that almost no other filtration system has.
Mhm.
And what I do is I compare it, for example, to um, what you'd have to do if you want to print something, you have to buy a printer.
Mhm.
But then when you buy a printer, they really sold you the printer, so you'll have to buy ink from them for the rest of your life.
Yes.
Well, that's kind of the way the water filtration system is in most places. They want to sell you a water filtration system so they can sell you a filter the rest of
Mhm.
your life. But when it comes to an emergency, what are you going to do if you need a filter? Or if it comes to an emergency, what are you going to do if you don't have electricity? And most of them need electricity to do anything of value. And then the third thing, most of them do not do a very large volume of pure water
Mhm.
over a period of time, over a day, for example, for what you need. So anyway, I said, let me see if there's a way to find two things. Number one, something that will last for the rest of your life,
Mhm.
to have pure water every day.
Mhm.
Number two, no matter whether it's electricity or not. And number three, where you never have to buy another filter because the filter is designed to backwash it where you can use it again and again, and
Oh,
it has the ability to do that. And the reason and the other thing that makes it understood, where most people say, "How could that be?" The manufacturer's been in business 40 plus years, and the manufacturer gives a lifetime guarantee on the filter that you never have to change this because it's
amazing.
designed. You take the pure water, you run it through, and it becomes pure water. And then all you have to do to make the filter make sure that it's okay, you just reverse the filter and backwash it with the pure water and
Hmm.
do it again and again. And the other thing that's major with this, it will do up to 150 gallon of water per day rather than most of them is 3 gallon, 2 gallon,
Mm-hmm.
whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not enough. But with 150 gallon per day, you literally could help as many as 300 people to have pure water every day, no matter how long an emergency lasts.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the basis of what we did and how we got here and what we have and how we got to that and why we did what we did the way we did it. The research and when you get to something like what we have, it's very simple, but a lot of things that are simple take time to find that and make sure that what you found is what you need. But then you say, well, this is a very simple thing. It's a 5 gallon container. It's a filter that has a lifetime guarantee. It's not sexy. It's not fancy,
Hmm.
but it does what it's supposed to do for the rest of your life. So you have the peace of mind for you, your children, and your loved ones, and others, up to 300 others, to have pure water no matter what happens.
Wow, this is amazing. Like I imagine that we need to keep buying filters for the rest of our lives. We don't want another razor and blade issue, right? Sell a cheap razor and then buy expensive blades for the rest of your life. No,
Right?
that's not the
Yeah,
case.
right.
I
No.
am amazed. Let's talk about something simple. The one thing
Okay.
that every person needs really and cannot live without is obviously water. But we
Right.
barely talk about it until it's all gone. What are your thoughts on
Right.
that?
Well, what what I say in a very brief form for that, and then we'll expand on that. There's four words that a lot of people will use if they don't have what we have.
Hmm.
When a time comes where there is a challenge, they will say, "I wish I had."
Hmm.
So it's so simple to take care of this that we overlook the simplicity. But the other thing that happens is a lot of people say, "Well, that sounds great, but I've never had a problem. I've always been able to turn that faucet
Hmm.
and water's come out."
Like
But
exactly
what?
how I feel.
Yeah, yeah. But what if? And that's the thing. So it's kind of like educating people. And the times where the most knowledge or top of mind that people have is after a major crisis. For example, a hurricane or whatever. I mean, just a few months ago, as like in the hurricane in North Carolina and other parts of India
Yeah.
of the United States, um, those people had that situation, and then the news talks about that. So it's like having something that come to your mind that you never thought of that's on the top of your mind and it goes away. We
Hmm.
all have that.
Hmm.
So what we find for 20 or 30 days after a major crisis like that is when people say, well, maybe I should do something, and then they forget about it, and then until it comes up again
It's not
and
pressing
again,
anymore.
the I
Yeah.
wish I had. Yeah. Okay.
Mm. Exactly. We take so much for granted, right? But here's
Right.
one thing.
Right.
Water is just not just water. Not all of it is safe. It's lots out there right now,
That's
but not all of that could be safe. We
that's
could be
right.
living in remote areas and could be living in trailer parks. So tell us
Right.
what's the biggest thing that we should be paying attention to when it comes to having pure water for our families and for others.
Well, the biggest thing, the simple way that we say about this filter, it takes out everything that makes you sick. And that's the thing that is important. For example, you can actually take this filter and go to a dirty stream, looks like it's brown,
Mm.
almost chocolate, whatever, and stand there, and we have the filter will actually purify that water to 99.99% pure
Mm.
with all the everything taken out of it that would make you sick, including 100% of the plastic removed as well. So
Wow.
now we right, and that's huge today with all of our mind. That is top of mind. So that's what it does. So on our website we have a picture, not a picture, a video of a person with our filter with the container taking it right out of the stream, filtering it through it's gravity filter. So again, you don't
Mm-hmm.
need electricity.
Mm.
Filtering it through the system, and then taking that glass of what it was. You could see what it was in the water, and you take the glass. You can see it's 100% pure, crystal clear, and drank it right at the stream from what looked like was dirty water, and everything that would make you sick was taken out of that through that filter.
Beautiful. What about chlorine and fluoride? Those two?
Okay, when it comes to chlorine and fluoride, this filter, we call it the emergency filter,
Mm-hmm.
does not take chlorine and fluoride out because chlorine and fluoride is not in the water of what you would have to get, like what we just described. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
yeah.
what we do have, and I say this in a kind way, we as Americans and Canadians and such are spoiled. We do have of the water that
Mhm.
flows and all that.
Yeah.
So chlorine and fluoride, for example, is something important. So we have what we call an emergency filter. That's the primary thing we're talking about. Then we
Mm-hmm.
also have a tap filter and a pitcher filter. And the tap filter and the pitcher filter does take out chlorine and fluoride. Okay. And those are separate filters. But the one of them, the tap filter, again, you just fit on your faucet. And then, of course, the pitcher filters, you don't have to have it. It's just you can put in your fridge or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
both of those, the emergency filters, lifetime, like I described, those two filters do need to have refilter replaced, but it's 2,000 gallons before you have
Wow.
to replace those filters. Most
Yes.
of them are like way 60-gallon or something. So
Mm-hmm.
what does that mean? 2,000 gallon. If you just use it for drinking water with the pitcher filter, for example, that would last one person 10 years. If
Oh
you have a
my
family,
goodness.
3 to 5 years.
Right.
So now we have the way with the 3 units to actually make it where you can have pure water and the fluoride and the chlorine as well.
Mhm. Okay. Let's talk solutions. I know a
Okay.
lot of people who go, water bottles are just 99 cents. So this is the only way I know that I can get pure drinking water forever.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Over time, it becomes expensive and wasteful, and it doesn't even feel like convenience because you have to rush to the store every time you need to get a dozen bottles. So
Right.
tell us, I know that you said there's a way we can save money and save the ecosystem and get
That's
pure water.
right. That's
So
right.
tell us how your system
And
does it.
I'll share that with you in just a moment. Just yesterday we had talked about being on your program yesterday as far as to the visit with listen in.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't able to do that because I had two people to come and we were just creating 15 and 30-second clip videos that we're going to use and sharing some of that and
Mm-hmm.
with the sarcasm and with just kind of a fun
Mm-hmm.
type thing. But during that time, it was very clear that most people really would like to know about this. And what it does now is this. For example, if two people
Mm-hmm.
that use that buy bottled water, even if it was very minimal price, 30 some cents a piece, that would take you would actually save 2,920 bottles of water that would go into the ecosystem
Mm-hmm.
and have a savings of $934 per year. And you never have to buy bottled water if you don't want to, because this will purify up to 150 gallons a day.
Yeah.
So now, think of that for 3 years. You would have a $3,000 savings. And what we've done with the water system, the emergency system, we that only costs $99 in the United States, including shipping. In
Okay.
the in Canada, it would be a little bit more for the shipping, but it's
Mm-hmm.
$99. You buy it one time, you never
Mm-hmm.
have to spend any more money the rest of your life.
For the rest of your life.
Now,
Wow.
instead of spending $3,000 every 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
now, and what does it do as well to the ecosystem? All of that plastic that was going into the ecosystem is now it doesn't go there. So you're doing something for yourself, you're doing something for others, you're doing something for your family, you have the
Mm-hmm.
peace of mind, and you can enjoy that pure water. Does it take a little work to do that? Yes.
Maybe,
It's a
yeah.
gravity flow filter.
Mm-hmm.
You have to take some time to do that. We do that all the time. It's just part of our life. We'd rather have pure water than not. And then, of course, if you want, you can buy the purchase also the tap filter and or the pitcher filter, and have that in your pitcher or in your fridge or at your tap or whatever as
Mm-hmm.
well. So
That is amazing. Tell us how people can buy the system as
okay,
easy as
the
ABC.
right safercleanerwater.com is the address, and the website address, and right there on the website, it's just click the button, order now, and it takes about 14 days, 7 to 14 days for it to be delivered to your residence, wherever you want to have delivered to.
Wonderful. I'm going to put those links in the description and also a way
Okay,
to get in touch with Mark via his website and his LinkedIn. But before
right,
he goes, I really want him to tell us the one we talked about. You have a nonprofit organization you're very passionate about. Share something
right.
about that with with my audience.
I will do that in just one moment. I just to give one more clarity of um, as we said, safercleanerwater.com, but also info at
Mm-hmm.
safercleanerwater.com would be the way to contact.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do that, if you could request what we call a safer, cleaner water guide to pure water for life. That
Nice.
it's just a very small document that you could say, look, I really realize I'd like to know about water. And this gives you a capsule of that in a very clear way. You can
Mm-hmm.
order that from us and no costs for that.
Oh, that's good. We could at
Okay.
least take a look
Yeah.
at it before we actually get the system.
Right, if you so desire. Right. And then as far as the charity, what we have is we created a nonprofit 501(c)(3), and it's designed to help uh, economically challenged individuals to change their life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of what we do. But the way it ties to our safer, cleaner water, we have the ability and desire and are working to market, and it's not the right word, to actually find nonprofit entities that serve homeless
Mm-hmm.
people, those that need water, financial or physical challenge with food, etc.,
Mm-hmm.
or those that have a challenge with some type of issue they have with drugs or whatever that's recovering centers, and then to actually donate. We want to donate one of these emergency systems to each of those entities, as
Mm-hmm.
we can raise donation funds to be able to have them to have the ability to have make it where they actually do have pure water that they can provide to
Mm-hmm.
those people that they need in an emergency. They're the ones that need it more than anybody.
Right.
They don't have any other way to get it. So now we're servicing them. And then what we do on the other side, on those entities that have, there's some people that want to hand out. There's some people that want to hand up.
Mm-hmm.
What we do is we want to help those that want a hand up while they help the ones that have a handout. What we do with our nonprofit, then we have education and we have other ways to show those that want to change their lives to be able to get a better job and learn more about what needs to be done and change their life where they now become productive citizens as well.
Oh, very good. And I feel since the last couple of times I've spoken to you, and your passion actually shows in your face when you talk about them. So I love what you're
Thank you.
doing. I hope a lot of people do what you're doing too. And I'm going to put those links in the description as well while this publishes. Thank you
Okay.
so much for being here. You're one of my most awesome guests. Thank you for sharing
I
everything that you
appreciate
shared,
that.
Mark. And hey,
Thanks
if you're
much and
watching
enjoyed it.
this and you think about your water situation, you could start thinking a little differently now. So let us know in the comments however you felt about it. Take a look in the description. You'll find ways to get in touch with Mark. Connect with him on LinkedIn and have a talk with him before you make your decision if you need to. Until next time, stay safe, stay smart, and let's get some shit done.
Thank you.